What's going on, everybody? It's Retro Handhelds 24. The other day, someone had requested Need for Speed 2 on the Pocket Flip 2, and that's what we're going to be looking at today. So, I went over the comment. He was having trouble, I guess, launching the game, and I didn't know if this is one of those games where, it's like hard to play, but I fiddled with the settings again. I'm not very, I don't really play PS2, and it's nothing against PS2. The games I did want to play on PS2, I played them a long time ago, and man, these, you can't beat these speakers. I have to turn it down because I can't hear myself talk. This is at 1080p. I got it working pretty good, but yeah, I just don't fiddle with PS2 that much. Oh my god, I suck. Alright, man. Where's reverse? There we go. The games I did want to play, like the Silent Hill games and whatnot, or the Resident Evil Code Veronica, all that, I did play like on an old ass handheld that I don't even have anymore. It was God, I can't remember, GPD X. I forgot what it was. It was like it was one of the first top of the line Android handhelds from GPD, and it was sweet. It had micro switch clicks for the shoulders and trigger, and it was a long horizontal handheld, and the thing was it was expensive at the time. It had 6 gigs of RAM, and then the processor, guess what the processor was? This weak ass Helio G99 or some shit, and I was like, oh my god. At the time I was like, this is mind blowing. It's gonna play everything, and it could play PS2, and you could upscale a little bit, kind of I wouldn't even go as high as here because I'm doing 1080p, which is like 3 times. But yeah, it was pretty cool. So I had my fun, I played my games, and then I was done. I was like, nope, I don't want to play any other PS2 games. So I kind of just stopped investing in that type of emulation. But whenever someone, ooh, I'm going the wrong way. When anybody requests it, I'll always jump back into Nethersx2 or whatever and just figure it out. And each time I do, I keep coming up on other things that make the game work better. I think I tried this out last time and I could not get it to run this well. I can't remember. It's in one of my videos. But this is pretty good. It's Vulkan. We'll go over the settings. But he said he had a hard time launching the game, so I don't know if it's just launching the game or if he has trouble with anything else. This is playing pretty dang good, but the frames, I'm not exactly sure what this is supposed to be playing at. And what is this? The G and the V? What is this? Just give me the simple FPS. We're in the green. I know that's good. I don't know if this is a 30 FPS game. It should be 60, but I can't tell with these scores if we are playing above 30 or playing above 60. I don't know. You guys can let me know. That's how unfamiliar I am with this emulator. But I started up. Alright. It was slow as hell. And I was like, okay, let's see what we could do. So it was in the red. I know that's bad. So the first thing I do was start in general. We don't need to start in general, but just review it. And that's, I clicked not all of these were on, but so I clicked some more just to see what I was working with. There's a lot that you can put on the little menu there. And then you got your underclocking and all that good stuff. And I was like, man, I really don't want to do that, so I skipped it. And then the infinity control, I forgot what it was at, to be quite honest. And I used to remember this because I got this other game, this Final Fantasy shooting game. I totally forgot the name of that one too. It was such a a pain to get to work at full speed, and I did a deep dive and did all these crazy configurations to finally get the game to play almost to normal fast forward speed. So you could play like 100 frames, 60 frames on this device. Like, go check that video out. I do not remember how, but I even looked into each of these because this is like PS3, where the Affinity control mode is like basically how you wanted the cores to be assigned. I was lazy, so I just chose performance cores. This is on by default, and right here, enable frame limit. You can turn that on, it'll play at 100% speed. If you turn it off, it'll play as fast as possible. So might as well just turn it off. And then we go to graphics. It starts you off in OpenGL. Quickly change to Vulkan, and you could do it in-game, no problem. And we're doing upscale 2.5, 1080p, because we have 1080p screen. And was there anything else in here? I changed the aspect ratio to 16:9, so we get the widescreen. That might be on by default. That's interesting. I might want to play with that later, but not right now because the game works. I think that's it for graphics. And then let's scroll all the way down to advanced. Let's see. What? It's somewhere in here. Hold on. Ah, yeah. Software rendering threads. So default, it's 2. If we go to higher, it doesn't help. So just take it off. You would think that would not work that way, but I just tried it just to see, and it seems to work out just fine. However, software rendering threads. So maybe if we go into a new area, it might be like a little different. It might crash. I don't know. And then this VSync Q size frames, 2 frames. I was like, all right, I didn't want to mess with that either. But I did change the software rendering threads to none debug. And in debug, I didn't do anything. So that's all I did. But again, I don't know if this is one of those PS2 games that are... What? We don't want that. How do we get out of here? Nope. I don't think this is one of the PS2 games that are hard. That's hard to play. I think the ones that were, I think I covered already in the past on the Flip 2 especially. So let's talk about the Odin 3 now. I really want to get better at drifting with this, but that could be for another day on my own time. So in Russ's review, he was talking about, like, I wish it was a little wider. That's exactly what I said. He also said that, the temps in GameHub are reading hot, but then he looks at a different app to see all the cores or whatever, or the CPU, the chip, and he sees one that's like kind of hot, but nothing, everything else is like in the 60 Celsius. So he's like, what's going on? And then, he goes over other things about the device, the taller joysticks, but again, you could pop them off. So maybe you could get low profile sticks, because he's not going to say it. It's like, it feels great. And I'm sure it feels great, but at the same time, the sticks, I feel like, just look too tall, right? Just like the 406H, it feels good, but when you look at it, you're like, that looks ugly as hell. I don't want those tall sticks. So I think he was just being kind of like Shelly right there, just not telling the truth. Be like, yeah, they're tall, but you can swap them off for low profile sticks. But in his own personal opinion, it's like, because he has no grip, it's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to take out those sticks until he gets like the official Odin 3 grip, because I'm telling you, it's going to be bonkers. Anyways, enough about the sticks. And then, you know, he went into compatibility, and yeah, that's just a given at this point. It's more of a handheld that, like I said in one of my comments, it could just collect dust at this point right now and just wait for it to mature, because it will be a beast, you know, when it matures. And it, another person in the comments was saying that, like, you know, it's not really set up for emulation, and that's true. Like, I get that, but at the very least, like, in the future, because like I said, there's a lot of investment in this chip now, you know, and technology does move forward. Eventually they'll get around to drivers and support for that, for better emulation. But again, I want to know the 3D wildlife test mark. Like, he did a 3D wildlife like test, like the 1 minute thing to get a score, and I get that because he's just got it for the first 24 hours. And he's just doing his first 24-hour impressions, and you saw the scores, like 6,000. You know, the G3 Gen 3 was, I don't know, was it like 4 or 5,000, 4,000 something, 3,000? I don't remember. And then the Odin 2, whatever that was. But I was like, yeah, okay, cool. I still need to know what the temps are going to be. I need to know the stability. Like, that fan, you say it's not that loud, not that annoying. Okay, but if it's going to be on all the time, and if, you know, I want to at least know that it's doing its job. Like, you know what I mean? Like, again, I know it's only 20 minutes. Wow, this car should have blown up a long time ago. But, you know, I guess I can't get too mad because it was his first impressions. And I'm glad he did one test, but that's what all I really care about is, like, they built it so you don't feel the heat, which is amazing. There is a fan, we know that. Does it get loud? Yes, I mean, it has to at this point. It has to be like an A Neo. It's got that elite chip. It's gonna get hot. But like, until we find out, I'm still gonna talk about it. I want to know what the stability is. I want to know how that chip handles heavy load for a long period of time with a game that does work. What's the battery percentage? You know, how much do we lose? The loop scores, like, you know, does the heat impact the chip a lot, or is it like Russ said, it's just a chip that works heavy loads under extreme heat, but it's just made to do so, you know what I mean? Oh, 360 almost. And the 3D wildlife stress test, I know it's not everything, it's just a benchmark, it doesn't correlate to gaming or emulation, but to me, I want to see just how it is affected by the heat with a built-in fan, because that's just something I don't know, and I can't test it myself, or else I would. I mean, I could do it with the tablet, with the Y700, and not have any cooling fan attached to it, but that's insane. It's not going to be the same as a actual fan blowing on it, but putting the cooling fan is different than just having a fan built inside. So it's like, damn it, I need to know. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Knowing Russ and other YouTubers, they're gonna do it right away. They're gonna go over the same thing. It's too small, it's too compact. It's like, yeah, we all know that now. But hopefully a YouTuber that does get a review unit just goes straight to GameHub. Like, just F everything else, okay? There's videos out there on the Elite series. There's YouTubers that just focus on the Elite chip with whatever cell phone device that they have and just post GameHub videos. I could tell you a few of them right now. So hopefully one of those people get it and just show off at least what you could do with PC emulation with a built-in controller and a 120 Hz OLED screen. I mean, it's gonna be a win-win for that situation. And I hope GameHub really gets their act together, because I don't know what they're doing. Like, you know, I don't know what I'm doing right here. All right, so enough rambling. I'm using the Nethersx2 Classic. Uh, just copy this. I don't know about the Classic. You just copy Nethersx2, go to Google, type that in, and say for Android to make it even easier. You'll find the link to download the app. Once you download the app, you will need to get a BIOS. Okay, because it's going to be like an Eden, or you're gonna go through the prompts. It's gonna ask you for the BIOS for PS2. Again, just go to Google, type in PS2 BIOS. It'll probably be the first link. Click that. Once you download it, these are gonna be in zip format. So make sure you have Z Archiver. Unzip the BIOS because you will need that. Unzip the game because you will need that. And then just create like a PS2 folder and put the game in the folder, because it's going to ask you just like this, where is your game directory. Just put everything in the PS2 folder, click that. If you haven't already done that, maybe you have, I'm not sure, but after that, just follow the settings that I did. It's nothing crazy. The game is going to start off bad, so just make sure that graphics, you're using Vulkan. You can do 1080p, but you got to do a few steps before that. And then in advanced, the render threads, software render threads, just put none. And was it system? Affinity control mode, I put performance cores. And then in general, is it general? I'm a fool with system. And then backend system right here, this will be on by default, which will be 100%. Now you could play around with this. I did in the past too, and I found a lot of fun with it. But if you want, like in Eden, if you just want full speed, just turn it off and it'll play the game as fast as possible, which means you could play it pretty fast, and then when you upscale it, it kind of starts equaling out. Like we were headed at 1080p and we were getting decent frame rates. We were still in the green, so we're going above the normal. So you don't have to do crazy tinkering with this game to get it to work, to be playable or whatever. You just saw me play on the Flip 2 A65, fantastic device. Kind of sucks too. I was thinking about this. It's like, this came with that chipset, which was at the time still like, whoa, what else can it do? Whoa. And then they were like, let's put in a clamshell and let's put both sticks on top like the Steam Deck, because that's so comfortable. And I was like, you know what? This is awesome. Awesome. And it just made this chip even more popular, to be quite honest. And now there's the G2 Gen 2, which is interesting on its own. But Retroid is going to just be using the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, which it's like I'm interested in how people are going to feel about how that feels, like that form factor, because they put the stick on top. It's got the curves on the back. The shoulder buttons are, I don't know, they're still like the mini here. But maybe with the bumps on the back, maybe you can like get better control, like for shooters or whatever, because that's not the ideal device to play that with. So I'm interested in how that feels, but it kind of sucks because this is still one of a kind, because the chip is not one of a kind, but the chip can do more than people knew because it was not in a handheld. The 8 Gen 2 is in many handhelds, so it takes away like the surprise, the curiosity. They call me Whiskers because I'm curious like a cat. Anyways, they don't call me Whiskers. Take full advantage. I still love this thing. I know I don't show it off a lot, and people are always like, where's Flip 2? I need you to do this, I need you to do that. And I got all these other ones, but I still love this thing. I don't have, it sucks too, because I don't have any hinge problems, I guess because of the clear material. And honestly, I wouldn't have gotten any other color than this because it's just awesome to me. But my Thor is white, so I should have went with purple, because if that's going to be the case and that thing cracks, or if those cracks are real and just not the one that we saw was cracked, that kind of sucks, man. Like, that thing was expensive too. So hopefully that doesn't crack. I still love this thing. I need to play around with this more. If you guys want to hit me up with some more like PS2 requests, you know, I don't even know, like, because I'm out for GameHub right now, guys. So just, it does not work for me. I have it on here. Who knows how old this one is? Let me sign in. Watch the Flip 2 be the only GameHub device that works. Alright, so check it out. It works, right? But there's a newer version. So we go to update. Not now, fuck that. But I got nothing on here. But look, it works. Oh, no, it's my Steam. Don't follow me. That's very interesting. I guess I answered my own question. The 865 with only 8 gigs of RAM is going to be the only device I can use with GameHub. Ain't that some shit? Meanwhile, people are still waiting for their Conquer Fits. Can't get them. But on here, like, God of War doesn't even have background. There's got to be a reason why this is happening. Like, this is from Steam Library. And if we go here, like, I don't know. Just, you see what I'm talking about? Like, this is my Steam Library game, and I can't even change anything. So, if you guys want to see more PC emulation, especially on GameHub, because it is the best by far, and you guys know a fix to this, let me know. Or else, perhaps we'll just be using the Flip 2 for PC emulation moving forward. Now, I got that update, which I don't even have games on here, but makes me think like whatever at the time of this version is what I got. But maybe that's not the case. Let's see. Let's go to downloads, right? Yeah, I mean, this is new. Wait, cancel? Oh, it completed it all. Oh, so I do have it already. Okay, well, that's not that new. I have to put something on here. Well, hey, look at that. Flip 2 just came back full force, and it's the only one that works for GameHub. Hey, hey. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about the Odin 3. Like, if you bought that or you invested in that, are you concerned about the thermals? I mean, I'm not too concerned. I just want to see, like, stability. And the 3D Wildlife Extreme Test gives you a good idea of what that stability is going to be like. I played around with the Elite again, like a lot, like 4, 5, 6. I don't know. I got that right after I got this. So it's been some time, but I've always used a fan, like a cooling fan. So I don't know if the games start losing frames or something, but I heard reviews and a lot of people downing the Y700 because it gets too hot, just like the Red Magic, whatever. And then eventually they lose performance, but it's different when you have the cooling fan on. So we'll see, man. I hope someone posts something about the Odin 3 with thermals, but until then, stay tuned. It looks like we're gonna go back to the drawing board with the Pocket Flip 2. Trigger's awesome, and we got that grit, man. You know what doesn't got that grit? That Thor don't got that grit, man. What's up with that, bro? Very similar design. And if you look at this too, right before I end the video, it's just like, you notice like this still comes out more here, so it's easier to hit. And then for whatever reason, they thought it was a good idea to make this more narrow and to come out more here, so you'd have to reach more to pull it down. I don't know why they did that. It's like smaller and then bigger, and then it's bigger then smaller. Why did they do that? It makes no sense. The shoulders are like the same, no difference. So anyways, I gotta go. You guys have a good one. Take care.